Hello, and welcome to the weather update, January 12th, 2019. And I'm just showing you what happened yesterday. You can see that cirrus that popped up over us, so I just wanted to show you that. All right, so here's another image of what happened yesterday. You could see that there was an area of high clouds, particularly over New Jersey, that just developed, kind of just a little upper level moisture in there. You could see that there were a lot of contrails. See them all there. So glad Long Island for the there were some clouds over the eastern part of Long Island, but for the most part, you could see here that you could see again. There's that area of clouds over New Jersey. Is another image of it there, and you could see a little bit of it over Long Island too in another patch. Look at that one. That one actually left a shadow. Look at that. So yeah, interesting. Even though they said it was going to be clear, that's what happens. And of course, today we have the high clouds from the storm system that will be coming. Going by to the south. So now, let's take a look at that storm system on the radar. First, we'll start with the national radar here from Intellicast, and I'll put this in motion here so you can see where it's moving. And this storm has hit areas of the Midwest very, very hard. You can see it's hit some areas are getting pounded, like Ohio, Indianapolis, lots of heavy snow, and people getting stranded and power outages and things like that, and then heavy rain to the south of that. This is a pretty massive storm, and you can see it's trying to move in our direction, but what's going to happen is it's going to get suppressed, and it's not going to be affecting our area. We'll only really be seeing clouds, if anything, maybe some accumulating snow south of, I would say, Route 195 in New Jersey, perhaps some light snow there. So anyway, let's go and look at the models and see how the storm is going to materialize. Let's get a little closer here into our area, and we'll now that we are in a precipitation event, let's take a look at the NAM model, which is one of the better models to use when we're dealing with precipitation events. This is we'll go to the 18Z run. So you see here the snow. It looks a little underdone on the amount of precipitation being generated, though, I notice on the NAM. But the NAM keeps the snow to the south of us, you can see, and then it just dries it up because we have very strong high pressure over the northeast that's suppressing the storm system. It's very dry air, so the snow, basically, according to this model, very light snow only over the southern half of New Jersey, and then it gets suppressed down, and then it tries to redevelop a little more snow a little later on in Sunday, or again over the southern half of New Jersey, and then you can see it just gets, boom, suppressed like that, and then the storm is just pretty much suppressed to the south, as you can see there. It's a close call, and if this were to take a different track, we would be definitely having a very different forecast. You can look at some really heavy rain over here in the southern part of the low. So once this low gets over this warm water, it's going to explode. You got to remember those ocean temperatures are above normal, and well above normal, and then that low pulls away, and then we are left with fair weather. So let's take a look and see what the NAM has for the snowfall accumulation, total snowfall, and see. Yeah, it pretty much has us getting almost nothing, a trace, and then around Toms River could be more like close to an inch or two, and then if you go even further south into really extreme southern New Jersey, maybe like Wildwood, those areas there, Cape May, it could be up to 5 inches there, but the hardest hit areas are going to be in the mid-Atlantic. You could see close to a foot of snow around Washington, D.C. and Baltimore as the storm system gets suppressed to the south on this particular model. But there are other models to look at, and I want to take a look at I guess we'll look at the GFS next. So let's go ahead and look at the GFS. This is the GFS total snowfall, so let's take a look at that. It's even less. The GFS gives even less. It gives like just a trace to an inch around southern New Jersey, and then you'd have to go pretty far south to get at least 3 inches according to the GFS. And if we look at the radar echoes on that, you could see here that again it stays pretty much, it stays suppressed. You can see that suppressed track to the south right there, so you can see that, and then moves offshore, and it really does intensify very rapidly once it gets over the water, but it's suppressed to the south. But it will probably keep the winds up. The winds will probably pick up northeast winds later Sunday into Monday, I would assume, with that kind of track. Let's take a look at the HRRR model. We'll look at that one next. All right, this is a really short range model. This is the 0Z run from it, so let's take a look at that. And again, similar thing, it does bring the snow a little further north and brings maybe a light snow or flurry area over us. And maybe over, so it does seem to bring it a little closer to us than the other model did. So again, this is the HRRR model. Let's see what that has for our area as far as total snowfall goes. Still very light, barely an accumulation, maybe a trace to a dusting, or maybe a coating at the most. And then you have to go, like I said, toward Ocean County to get maybe a couple of inches, and then south of that, maybe 4 inches. There is a winter weather advisory in effect for Ocean County, and I'll show you that later. But that is the HRRR model. And I guess we'll look at the RGEM. Look at the RGEM model and the snow. So again, pretty much similar agreement on these snowfall totals here. Pretty much the models are in agreement that most of it gets suppressed to the south, but because it's just so close by, you know, don't be surprised if we do see a little light snow in our area, but it really won't accumulate too much. And again, there's the precip shield, but you can see it just gets eaten away by that dry air, and it suppresses the storm system, which again winds up being very intense. You can see it bomb out as it gets over these warm water. Actually, I want to see what the water temperatures are in this area a little later on in this video. But that is going to be pretty much the deal with this storm, and so it's a miss for us. You'll have to go, if you want to see some snow, you'll have to go at least, I would say, to southern New Jersey. Maybe Toms River will get something, maybe. So we shouldn't have much precipitation to worry about, but let's take a look and see when we're going to get some sunny skies again. All right. Tomorrow the clouds are going to pretty much be hanging tough over our area. Might see a few breaks in the afternoon. As we go into Monday, looking at the GFS, you can see the clearer air trying to build in from the north, so we might wind up clearing it out maybe Monday afternoon. And again, this is the GFS model. Looking at Tuesday, let's see how Tuesday works. Tuesday looks like it could be a mostly sunny day, but then again, it tries to roll some clouds in on us a little later on, so I don't know if it's going to be. It may not be. And Wednesday, yeah, we'll have to see. There might be still some clouds. Again, once you go this far out in the long range, it kind of, once you go more than a couple of days with the cloud form, you know, it's kind of hard to forecast exactly what's going to happen. But hopefully we can get at least one clear day in here. I'll look at the NAM as far as the cloud cover goes. We'll see how that works. All right, again, I got to move this to the 18Z. All right, so here is the cloud cover. And actually, this is a good way to visualize the storm, too. You could see how it kind of gets suppressed again right here. See how that's getting suppressed as the high pressure builds down from the north. You can see it gets suppressed down. Now, if you were in Maine or northern New England, you'd have a nice clear day tomorrow. I'm a little jealous of them, I guess. But anyway, yeah, we do see the NAM is a little more encouraging with the clearing out. And you can see it clears things out as we get toward actually late morning over New Jersey. So it might clear out in New Jersey on Monday, perhaps, and then that's as far as it goes for Tuesday. You may have to worry about some high clouds for Tuesday. But again, hopefully we can get one sunny day, and it should be nice. Yeah, you know, over New Jersey, so I can go there, because that's really where I need to go. It's been almost a month since I've been there. But yeah, hopefully we can get one clear day in at least for, you know, but it will be fair for most of the week. So let's take a look at the CONUS view. We're going to actually go ahead and look at the CONUS, and we will change this back to the GFS, and we'll go and look and see how this week goes. So you can see there's the storm departing off to the south and east. High pressure builds in for Wednesday. We got a little clipper coming in on, Tuesday. We got a little clipper coming in on Wednesday. Then it looks like some more high pressure tries to build down, but I'm thinking this may be spraying out some cirrus our way, so I don't think it's going to be clear on those days, unfortunately. And then we have a weak system pass through on Friday, and then another much stronger system here develops for the weekend. And this is the one we have to watch for next weekend, and this will be the next significant weather event in our area. Right now, it looks like it takes the storm track to the west of our area, which means rain instead of snow. It might end as snow as the cold air comes in. And then once that leaves, there's going to be some really cold air behind that storm. Very cold air, bitterly cold air. We'll take a look at that in the temperatures. You see there's going to be some bitterly cold air behind that storm, and then there's another storm that pops up in the forecast around Wednesday. This one could be a snowstorm, but this is a ways away. We're talking Wednesday, January 23rd, but that would be our next best chance for some snow, because again, we haven't really had any snow this year, except in November, which was really last year, and not even the winter. So, and you can see the cold, you can see looking at the isobars, you can see it's just one. We got the flow out of Canada, we've got the cold air, and if we look at the temperature anomaly, you'll be able to see that. Here's the cold air over us. So I'll just back it up. You can look at the temperature anomaly. You can see we're pretty much in the cold air throughout, and then you can see that really cold air that's going to come down for, again, this would be about a week from a Monday. Really, really bitterly cold air over us that day. But for the rest of this week, it's just going to be seasonal. It shouldn't be that cold. So let's go and look at the temperatures across the Northeast for this week on the GFS. All right, so Sunday will be slightly below normal. This is the anomaly, so let me just put this back to temperatures here. Actual air temperatures. All right, so we'll be a little below normal. Highs will basically be in the mid-30s. It's almost about average for this time of the year. Cools down a little more on Monday, maybe. Still mid-30s, so it won't be terribly cold. Mid-30s for Tuesday. Wednesday, maybe recovering up to around 40. And then we have some more cold air try to come in on the following Thursday, so back down to the mid-30s again. And then for Friday, with that rain, we'll be in the 40s with that warm air coming up. But that's ahead of the next plunge of cold air, and this is the plunge that we're going to be watching now. Clearly see, actually, ahead of the plunge on Saturday, ahead of the front, it could go all the way up to 50. But then the bottom will drop out as we head into Sunday, as this cold air looks like it's going to come right out of Hudson Bay, and the highs are only going to be probably over in the low 20s, according to this. So it's going to be pretty chilly. And then for Monday, we get into it even more. Highs only in the teens. Some areas may struggle to even reach the single digits. So it's going to be a really cold air mass. It's going to be coming right out of Hudson Bay. So finally, we're getting into that really bitterly cold air. And Tuesday retreats a little bit. We're into the 20s. And I'm not going to really go much beyond that, but you could see another plunge getting set up there. So finally, winter has arrived. We'll just take a look at the temperatures across our area. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you this, just the sea surface temperature anomaly here. You can see all that warm water still offshore, that like streak of really warm water, and this is going to energize any storm that's like getting into this area. Just keep that in mind. But luckily, with this storm for this weekend, it's going to stay offshore. All right, so we'll look at the current temperatures. Final part of this video. 22 at Gabreski Airport, and it did hit only 30 today. Now, it did get pretty cold last night in West Hampton, down to 10 degrees. So it did get pretty chilly in West Hampton, 10 degrees. Let's see what it hit in New Jersey. And take a look at that. As you see here is the winter weather advisory for Ocean County. All right, so 29 degrees, and let me just see what they're forecasting. Accumulation of less than 1 inch, probably. So it won't be very much, probably just a coating to 1 inch over there, not very much. And the high goes when it got up to 35. You see this warmer in Toms River, and it got down to 13. So that's going to conclude this weather update. So winter has arrived. I look forward to the really, really bitter cold next week, because I love the bitter cold. That's the best. You always get the best skies when you get that bitter cold. Anyway, that's going to be it. Take care, and thank you for watching.